Daniels.
Come in.
What's up, hey? It's Dude Daniels here, and I'm super excited today because I got my main man on the line with me. This is the health expert. You know, today is Health Wednesday, and I went out and was able to find time to get my brother on the line, Mr. Damien McSwine. He's the author of The Ancient 20 and also his recent book, which we're going to talk about a little bit today, which is titled The Top 50 Reasons People Fail to Lose Weight and Live Healthful Lives. Damien, are you on the other end of this phone call?
I'm here, my man. I appreciate you bringing me in. I'm back. We in the building.
All right, good. Man, like I say on Wednesdays, we usually just talk about health here on the podcast at DudeDaniels.com, and just kind of blessed that you were able to have time today. I know you've traveled, and you're at Costa Rica right now? You're in Costa Rica?
Yeah, right now I'm in Costa Rica getting some studies done. I'm looking to do some good things, study some of what I would call blue zones. Here is one of the blue zones, one of 4 blue zones that I'm aware of on Earth, here in Nicoya, Costa Rica, where the people live to be 100 years of age, where many of the people live, where they have the highest number of centenarians, as they would call them.
Right. And these are not the average, 100-year-olds where, what we see sometimes slouched over, struggling along, not enjoying life. But these are people that actually move around and probably feel like they're 60 or so.
Yeah, these are people that they may be 100, but they're not laying in the bed or they're not walking around with canes and can't see, that kind of thing. These are people that are very active, that are cutting their own grass, chopping wood, doing lawn work, repairing things around the house, running, still being active, swimming, all those kinds of things. So these are people that are probably, would be around 50 or 60 years of age, biologically speaking, although they're chronologically 100.
So you're down in Costa Rica. How's that research been going, and what are you finding, and what have you been up to lately?
The research has been put on hold. I am studying day by day. I was just spoke with a guy here. He's about 76 years old, pretty youthful guy. He's big on the noni fruit and the noni juice. He had me try some of his noni juice way down here in Costa Rica. And these guys have a sense of urgency to be healthy. Now, obviously, it's not the same as in that blue zone that I spoke about, Nicoya, which is it's a little far from here, but those guys are more like in the countryside. But those people are they just do things naturally. I'm not sure if it's a spring out there, if it's in the water, but I know that there is a distinct difference between the people in Nicoya and the people in the urban communities here in Costa Rica.
Now, Nicoya is the blue zone, right? Now, do they have how can people separate a blue zone from any other place? Like, if I was I'm in Chicago, if I want a certain section to be blue zone, how do I do it? I put a little shield over it or something, or what do they do?
Well, that's a good question. Blue zones become blue zones by what's actually happening in the area. So the only reason that Nicoya is a blue zone is because if the people are living so long, you have the highest number of centenarians. One of the top 4 places on Earth, there's a high number of centenarians. That along with, there's a place in Italy, there's a place in Japan, and I forget the other place. And these are 4 places. So they're blue zones because people live long. They're not a blue zone because of a color.
For someone to really getting their life to the next level, what does your information in your books kind of offer them right now? And I'm going to go into some chapters if I have permission by you. I'm not going to go in deep to the chapter. I just want to give them the title of the chapters and maybe give a little feedback by you so they can understand a little bit about what you're doing.
Okay. Well, what my information offers, I'm kind of the bridge between what you would call esoteric health information and just regular health information. Now, what that means is that there are people that exist in most of the population on Earth here. There are people that exist that simply cannot grasp or simply, they're not unwilling to grasp some of these tough concepts as far as health, because right now people have made healthcare professionals, when I say people, I mean nutritionists, dietitians, healthcare professionals, lecturers, they have made health to be something that's very hard. You got to do this, and you have to, this antioxidant, and you got to go find this berry here under this tree in South America, and all that kind of stuff. So what I wanted to do was provide people with practical means that they can apply to their lives every day. And it wasn't about products. It was more about information, using what you have, more importantly, using what you have in the aspect of what the Creator, what God has given you, and that's in your mind. So I use very simple things that I've learned from my travels to help people to get a basic understanding, just to give you the fundamentals so that you can move forward in life. And if you just have these fundamentals, you would be fine. You would live a long life, and barring you don't run out, like Doc Wallach says, you don't run out with a ninja suit at night on the highway, an all-black ninja suit. You have every honest expectation of living a healthful life.
Right. And speaking of Dr. Wallach, I know that's someone who forwarded the first book, The Ancient 20. You're working with greats in the health industry like the Hudi Mayat Ra and Dr. Joe Wallach. How are these guys information and what you're bringing together? How are they a good blend for people to? Because I know these guys are more so they're product driven and also information. But how are these guys and what you're talking about really helpful for people to really get to know this type of information?
Well, these guys are very helpful in that they want to help people. Number one, they want to help people. So they are not they don't desire to be mainstream people, but because of the information that they have, people are consistently seeking these guys out for the information. They just want to help. The money comes along with it, the celebrity comes along with it, but they just want to help. And so what these guys are preaching and teaching is that everything is found in the nutrients. As Dr. Wallace says, every person that dies of a natural cause dies of a nutritional deficiency. And that means a lot. That means a lot because you may not hear that from your doctor. You may or may not, but it's probably more probable that you wouldn't hear it from your doctor than you would hear it. And so what these guys are constantly putting the ball in your court as an individual, letting you know that you can take over your health. It's really all on you. They're going to provide you with nutrients. They're going to provide you with the education regarding the nutrients and what they do, and the rest is up to you. Now, they can't hold your hand and just kind of, spoon feed you or put the nutrients in your mouth or change your life. If you know that you shouldn't be eating something, then you have to do that. So these guys kind of put the power on you, and they stress to you that once you know that something is right, you have to live on that right. You cannot go back to the lesson.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, let me move along to your book, my brother. I'm looking at the table of contents, and I've read this book, I think, 2 times because it's very practical. Actually, the subtitle of the book says the things that people subconsciously do to invite poor health. And I'm just going to name it. Can I name the contents of the chapter? Just the name of the chapter, rather.
No problem, brother.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Now, the first thing is you said is unrealistic expectations, comparisons. You want everything to taste good, not used to discipline. You're afraid to rise above your environment. The magic bullet theory, which is a great one, funny one that we've always talked about.
Absolutely.
And the event planner syndrome. I want to just start with the unrealistic expectations. Does unrealistic expectations invite poor health for people?
Here's what happens. When you're dealing with unrealistic expectations, you want something. It's very similar to the magic bullet theory. When you're dealing with unrealistic expectations, you want to lose 20 pounds in 1 week. Now, how are you going to lose 20 pounds in 1 week when it took you 20 years to gain those 20 pounds? And so you're looking at the next person, the person that's actually with the comparison. Your unrealistic expectations allow you to.
I was saying, how does unrealistic expectations invite poor health for people?
Okay. Well,
unrealistic expectations, it's like you cause a depression for yourself when you're not realistic about what you want to achieve, because having unrealistic expectations make you kind of quit sooner than you would normally quit, because you believe that you should have a certain result. And when you don't have that result, it gets frustrating, but you have to understand that it took you time to get into a situation, so it's going to take you time to get out of the situation. If you have gained 25 pounds since high school, and you are now 35 years of age, that's a 17-year window that it took you to gain those 25 pounds. So you can't expect to lose those 25 pounds in 1 week to 2 weeks. And so what happens is many people, they give up early because of the unrealistic expectations, and their claims are that this did not work or that didn't work. And then they give a diet a bad name, or whatever product it is that they're using. Those products are obviously that's really not worth that much. But the point is that the unrealistic expectation plays a trick with your mind, because you believe that you should be somewhere, and it's really not true, And then when you don't achieve it, there's an issue. And now you have given all the way up on health, achieving the health that you should actually be achieving, the level of health that you should actually be achieving.
Right. In chapter 7 of your book, you talked about the event planner syndrome. What is that?
The event planner syndrome is a person that's always waiting for an event for them to start a change in their health life. So, for example, if you're married, you may say, well, I'm going to go to the gym at the beginning of, on January 1st, 2014. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to get to that gym. January 1st, 2014 comes, and you don't go to that gym. Or, well, I'm going to start losing weight once my wife, once she get on her vacation, we're going to start this weight loss program. And so you're always waiting on an event or a time for you to take action. And many times, that event or that time may not come, and you never take action. So if your health is linked to a location or a situation, you will never have that success, because the best time is right now. The time is now for everything. You're living in the present. The past has already happened, and the future is still yet a mystery. So you have to take the present, and you have to go with that, because the present will form your future. That's the thing that people fail to realize. The present forms the future. If you're not doing anything in the present, you cannot expect much from the future. And it's just like Napoleon Hill said, if a man is not doing more than what he's asked for, he has no right to ask for more pay. Same thing in life, same thing with your health.
Right. The amazing thing is that in your book, you cover a lot of these things that are very just fundamental. If people were paying attention to them, they would learn a lot, not just with their health, but also with just life. Because there's a lot of these things that you can go across the board on. It seems like the chapter on family traditions, how those invite poor health. Could you comment on that one?
Family traditions is the single most biggest factor, I believe, in why people are not achieving the health that they want to achieve. Here's why. I come from a family that was grown up. We were kind of raised on a soul food diet. Now, don't get me wrong. Soul food has they have a certain amount of nutrients if prepared properly. Mm-hmm. The problem with soul food is that most of the soul food is either fried, which brings those carcinogens, heterocyclic amines, cancer-causing agents, free radicals, because you can't cook meat in high temperatures, and you can't burn the meat. More importantly, but more important than that, you're eating meat that's already dead. So you're a walking cemetery. And other than that, you're using pig products. You're using pork, which is unsuitable for man to eat. That's another animal that's unsuitable. You could cook that animal. You could boil and try to sterilize. Try to clean it as much as you want, and you're still gonna get the same result. Unclean animal, no matter what happens. Even the Bible will tell you that. But those who read the Bible, you know that those who read the Quran, who are Muslims, they know that. Mm-hmm. And so if it's there from these two major religions, and it's science is backing it, then you have to say that that's just something that you need to stay away from. But anyway, people stay with their traditions because of mama said so or your grandmother said so. But if your grandmother died from diabetes at 60 years old, eating that food, why are you eating that food? You know,
Right.
and that's one of those things that I can't understand. I would never sacrifice myself if I knew that something was hurting me or something was hindering my growth as an individual. I would have to stop that thing. And again, it goes back to that personal responsibility. We're putting the ball in your court, but people don't want responsibility. That's why this world works so well, because people they function well by being told what to do. They function well, and you're taught to be told what to do ever since you come out of obviously your parents' womb. But once you get put into the school system, you're used to taking orders. So you're not used to breaking the protocol, because you're used to doing what somebody has told you to do, instead of looking for yourself to see what's valid. And it becomes a true battle, and you have to learn as an individual. Listen here, anybody who's listening to this conversation, you have to learn to take truth as the authority, not authority as truth. You have to take truth as your authority. Anything that's truthful, that's going to override anything. Not authority as truth. Not somebody who's in a position of power who's telling you to do this. That doesn't mean that that's the correct thing to do. And that's what people do. They listen to positions of power instead of listening to the God who's in them and what is actually true, what is actually proven by science and by whoever you want to, whatever methods of proof there are, people ignore those methods.
Wow, that is the truth. I mean, that's that, and it's unfortunate because, you know, if you're hindering your own mind when you do that. First of all, I'm not gonna shred through the rest of your book, because I want people to get the book. To me, it's a definitely. I loved your first book, but this one is even, you know, for anybody that doesn't. It's a pocket size. If you have it on Kindle, is it on Kindle?
It's not on Kindle yet, but it will be available on Kindle. The purpose of that book was simply to open the eyes of the individual. It is a short read. It's much like the book Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. It's a very small book,
Right.
5 by 5. And so what I wanted to do was just to bring your attention to some of the things that you may or may not be doing, or somebody who's close to you, they may be doing those things and subconsciously doing it, and they don't even realize that they're doing it. These are things that can really affect your health in a negative way, you know.
Right.
So it's all about just noticing. Once you know better, then you can actually do better. You can look and say, man, I'm actually doing that. I didn't realize that I was doing that. And you can make the change. Exactly,
because it's on a subconscious level. It's on a subconscious level, a lot of these things that you're pointing out in this book. And like I said, it is a pocket-sized book. Not exactly pocket-sized, but you can carry it along with you without knowing. And it's a great read. I read the whole book, and I think it might have been my first book that I read in one day. But it's very informative. And the thing that it does say is, in the title, is the top 50 reasons people fail to lose weight and live healthful lives. So going out, I think we got about another 5 or so minutes. I just want you to, first we're going to talk on the lose weight. I'm 6 feet, 300 pounds. If I'm trying to get down to 200 pounds, what would be the first things that I should do in order to do that? If you can give that to us.
Of course I can, brother. That's why I'm here. The first thing that I would tell anybody to do is you got to stop the refined foods. Refined foods have no nutrients. What are refined foods? Potato chips, candy, condiments, different breads, low fiber carbohydrates, white rice, white potatoes, white bread, you name it. These kinds of foods are all refined. And by refined means that something was added for these foods, or as they would say on the package, enriched. Something was added to these foods for them to have a long shelf life, or for them to be tasting better, so to speak. They're not really as natural, and as a result, these foods are kind of dead. They have no nutrients, and nutrients bring life. So you have to eliminate things that are dead, because if you put dead things into a dead vessel, that vessel will eventually die. And it's as simple as that. So you need things with enzymes. So refined foods. Refined foods have no nutrients. It's an exercise in futility. It's specifically for the weight Here's what happens. When you eat a potato chip, that insulin goes goes off immediately. Your insulin goes off to try to put the sugar out of the blood into the cells. Okay? So let's say you continue to do that. Eventually what happens is once you eat the potato chip, that potato chip goes immediately to your waist. That potato chip immediately goes to your waist. Now, if you continue to do that over time, and let's say you begin to gain weight, because you will begin to gain weight because insulin regulates fat storage. So the more refined foods that you're eating, the fatter you will become. And the state of your health can be determined through your waistline. Do you have that, what we call the big belly? Do you have that big belly, the big beer belly? Or are you trimmed down? Because you shouldn't be able to pinch more than 1 inch of fat on your waist. Wow. You grab what they call the love handle, you grab that, and you grab your waist area below your belly button, you shouldn't be able to pinch more than 1 inch of fat. That'll tell you the state of health that you're in. But then, of course, when you continue to eat those refined foods, let's say you were once 200 pounds. Now you get up to 250 pounds. What happens is that pancreas is used to producing enough insulin for a person that's 200 pounds. Over the years, now it's producing for a person that's 225 pounds. So you're already over the limit. You're already infracting on the situation anyway, on what's normal, okay, what's normal or what's natural, rather. So now you go up to 250 pounds. Now that pancreas has gotten tired because now you're asking it to produce for an individual that's 50 pounds more than what it's made to produce.
Right.
So now you're producing for a person that's 250 pounds, and eventually the pancreas gives out. It gives out or it stops working. And you get diagnosed because you have that glucose stuck in the blood. And you get the diagnosis, what's known as diabetes.
So would you compare that, in financially speaking, somebody who is on a $3,000 a month budget, then they have a friend that or a family member that has to move in with them, and the family member costs maybe an extra $1,000 a month, which they're pulling out of their own house until finally their house cannot handle that much income because the expenses exceed the income, and then therefore the house falls down. Would that be a financial comparison to what is going on when somebody is gaining that extra weight and the organs have to take care of that extra weight?
Yes, that's exactly right. So what happens once you can't pay your rent? You get put out your house, right?
Right.
Exactly. You get put out of your house because you've incurred extra unnecessary expenses. Same thing with your body. Then you get that diabetes. But guess what happens? When you lose that weight, your insulin begins to work in, your pancreas starts to function correctly. When you drop that extra bill, you're able to live correctly, and you don't have a problem. And so that weight goes away. So this is why I'm encouraging people to stay away from the refined foods and incorporate plant life. You have to incorporate plant life. So then it becomes a question of, well, what is plant? Simply made, fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts. Those things. You have to incorporate 75% of your diet should be plant life. Now, I'm not asking you to be a radical.
75?
75% of your diet has to be plant life. When I speak of plant life, I'm speaking in terms of fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts. Now, I'm not telling you that it should be raw, although I would prefer that it's raw. But 75% because you are promoting life. And what plants do, plants in terms of vegetables, in terms of fruits cleanse. That's what they do. Fruits cleanse the body. What vegetables do is they repair the body. Okay, so now you're cleansing and you're repairing. If you have a malady somewhere in the body, we're looking to repair that. But first you have to cleanse. You can't put good things over junk. The body has to become cleansed. So if you're looking to gain weight, you got to stop the refined foods, and then you have to cleanse the body. You have to start from anew, because that your liver and your kidneys have just an enormous amount of trash from the time that you were born. And when I say trash, I mean in the forms of medicines and vaccines. Those things don't leave you. They stay in the liver.
Wow. I mean, this is all amazing. You
have to cleanse them, brother. You have to cleanse them. And so when you see people with the yellow eyes or the jaundice in eyes, there's a problem going on
with the liver. There's an issue going on when you see people with the brown teeth. There's a problem going on with fluoridation, what they would call fluorosis, dental fluorosis. What that means is that you've taken too much fluoride in from that tap water that you're drinking, and if it's made it to your teeth, if it arrives to your teeth, if it's showing on your teeth, then something more sinister is going on the inside. That's how you have to, whatever makes it outside of your body, it means that something is going on more sinister inside. If you have a rash, or if you have bumps or eczema or psoriasis, that means there's something going on in your blood. You want to correct the problem? You don't do it with topical means, through fake shampoos and fake greases and oils and lotions and all that. You do it by cleansing the blood. That's how you do it. And so, staying on course, you want to make sure that you're dealing with a plant-based diet. Now, if you want to deal with meats, I would recommend dealing with the red meat. I would kind of stay with a little chicken and a little fish, but that should be like 10 to 15% of your daily diet. The bulk of your diet should come from green foods, because green foods have calcium. Green foods have antioxidants. Green foods have many vitamins. Remember that all life on Earth emanates from the green of the plant, okay, through a process known as photosynthesis. So that broccoli the steak or the muscle of the cow that you eat, which is known as steak. A cow doesn't eat meat to get big, for you to cut that steak off, or that rib tip, or that rib eye. A cow ate grass. That's green. It ate grass to get that muscle. So why wouldn't you be able to eat greens to get the muscle, instead of thinking that you need meat to get meat?
Right.
And that's what overweight people do. But more importantly, they just eat the junk food. They eat a lot of things that are insalubrious, that are unhealthy.
Man. Hey, we've come to a point where we're kind of. I could tell it. I could feel the aura coming through the phone all the way from Costa Rica. The amount of knowledge base that you have, and I would just hope that as many opportunities as we get on Wednesday to talk to you. I'm sure this is probably going to be our biggest traffic week, at least on the website over there, and we appreciate you hanging out with us. For everybody to get more information, I definitely strongly recommend everybody get both of these books. You can go to Amazon and type in Damien McSwine, or the links that are on the website will lead you right to his website, which is privateeyehealth.com, or to get his books. These are practical things. I mean, it's not, that might have sounded scary to somebody who's whose health is being very challenged right now, to go 75% on green foods. But when you read this book, the top 50 reasons people fail to lose weight and live healthful lives, you will see that it's actually very simple. I've just read the book, and I've been incorporating maybe 2 new things that I hadn't been doing before. And most people don't know that Damien is actually a professional basketball player. He's played in over 30 different countries. And so he's somebody that are you still at the playing weight that you were in college?
Yeah, I'm still at 191 pounds. Absolutely.
Okay, now
I lost weight. I lose weight sometimes. I drop down to 188. So I've been right there, man. I don't move from there.
Now look, me and Damien, a lot of people don't know this, played college basketball together, and my playing weight was about 175, 180 if I was called myself beefing up. Today I'm much more over that. Like, if you see me, you wouldn't be able to tell that I used to play basketball. But the factor is this guy has kept this same weight, the same health, and has improved his health. Matter of fact, because I remember him in college. He's 6.
Don't tell him I was eating cream cheese and the French fries and the burgers.
Oh man, 16 pieces of fried chicken in one setting, man. So we talking a transformation based on the information that he's learned and traveled, not just in the United States looking at encyclopedias, but we're talking about going all around the world, researching, dealing with top people, doctors. I mean, Dr. Joel Wallach forwarded his book. That says a lot. But just the amount of information you can get in a simplified form that that Damien McSwine brings it in is going to be helpful. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us today on Healthy Wednesday. This was probably the best Healthy Wednesday we've ever had. And hopefully we have some more with you, Damien. Any closing words you want to say before we chop the show up?
Well, I want to thank you for having me as a visitor on your show. I do want to encourage everyone to go to our YouTube channel. Just look up Private Eye Health Group, or you can type in Daniel McSwine, and you'll see our YouTube channel, Private Eye Health. We've got over 115 videos on several health topics and even life topics. And support us on Facebook. We're on Facebook, Daniel McSwine. You can type my name in, and you'll see my author page. There's a personal page, there's an author page, preferably the author page. I'll be posting videos on there, different articles on there for people to read. So we have the information available, and that information, the videos, they do not cost, and the articles do not cost. We try to provide free information because we realize that not everybody is economically able to pay for information, but they do want to be healthy. And if it is something that's paid, it's going to be a nominal fee, a very nominal fee. I'm creating some ebooks right now for people. It's $2.99, $3.99, and so if you can't pay for the ebook and you smoking a $7 pack of cigarettes, I don't know what to tell you.
That's right. That's right.
So, yeah.
Well, you guys, everybody will see the links on the website right below this audio. So, man, once again, I appreciate you taking the time out. Sorry, everybody, we had a lot of technical, well, not a lot, a few technical difficulties. We got to remember that he's in Costa Rica. This is, from the other people that I know that live down there, it's kind of like a developing country, right? They don't have all the phone lines, the internet like we have out here, right?
No. Actually, they have that. Actually, the cost of living here is higher than the United States.
Wow.
So they do have it. They do have it here. But it depends on the area that I'm in as far as, maybe I'm in a different area of the hotel or where I'm at, and it's not picking up. Maybe it doesn't pick up. The connection doesn't pick up for whatever reason. But, no, we don't miss a beat here. There's public bus transportation systems, all the Walmarts, McDonald's, all of that stuff. Burger King, Tony Romo, Fridays, you name it.
Okay.
All of your favorite restaurants. Y'all know what y'all like out there, so that's here.
Okay, so y'all heard that. If y'all not trying to improve your health, y'all can go on down there anyway. All right, my man. I'm going to cut the recording off. And, man, God bless you again. And thanks for hanging out. Peace to everybody who's listening. Use this information. And if it's not for you, pass it on to somebody that you know needs it or wants it, because that's what the world is about, repaying you. People call it good karma. You do a good deed every day, like share this audio with somebody. A blessing is going to come back around to you. And I don't mean to sound like no preacher, but at the same time, that's where the preachers get it from, understanding how this world operates. So, peace and blessings to everybody, and we'll see you guys tomorrow and next week on Wednesday Health Topics.
Thank you.